Good morning and welcome to Behind the Screen. I am JM, and this is a show where we hang out and we talk about games, board games, card games, role-playing games, video games, things that are beautiful, things that inspire us to be better gamers, better game masters, better players, and it has been a while, and I am so glad to be here this morning. Hello to DM James and to John Doom and to Padre. It is good to see you all. So, for those of you who are wondering, where has JM been for the last 7 or 8 weeks? We took a hiatus right before the 4th of July because we were going on a little family vacation. And when I returned from my trip, I returned to both of my bathrooms pumping sewage the wrong way, is what I will say. And so we got back the Monday after 4th of July weekend. By Tuesday, all of the bathrooms were destroyed in my house. And then we spent 3 weeks in a hotel about 45 minutes from my house because that was the closest place they could find that had like the space for us and took a dog. And we're now in an Airbnb comfortably, only about 2 blocks from iconic production studios. And the bathrooms are about 90% done. We're just waiting on some vanities to come in. Hopefully this weekend, which means next week I'll be back in the house by the time next week's programming rolls around. But that's why there's been no Exploring Lorantha. There's been no Behind the Screen. There's been nothing because I was 45 minutes from the studio. And then even if I came down here, we were like dealing with stuff. It is good to be back, guys. I greatly appreciate it. Thankfully, we got the issue that caused it fixed. That was on us, and then insurance is basically taking care of the rest. So we're getting brand new bathrooms minus my deductible, and decided to make a couple of improvements on top of that, which will be nice. But thank you all for your support, your thoughts, your prayers, everybody who reached out to me. I really appreciate it. John Doom's been a huge help. He's been reaching out, kind of touching base with me every couple of weeks, making sure that I'm not going crazy. Everybody on the Iconic Discord server, you guys have been wonderful. Big thanks to Tink and her family for just kind of swooping down and supporting us for the last 7 weeks. It's been lots of blessings. So in the middle of all of that, the real bummer is missed Exploring Glorantha. We'll be back at the end of this month. I have a really great interview that I did with the Black Lodge Games guys, and we wanted to do more interviews with the Black Lodge Games guys. And then all of this happened. But for those of you who don't remember, the Black Lodge Games guys are the gentlemen who did the Shucked Oyster, which I know John Doom has been reading through. And they were nice enough to send me this. This is their next book that just came out. Cults of Zahak. I did get to see James at Gen Con. I won't bury the lead. James, always good to see you. I'll see you at Gamehole Con. Good luck with the new job. So Cults of Zahak, I will be doing a review of this. This is for Mithras, not for Shadow Dark, unfortunately. I mean, I love Mithras, but I know that John Doom was really excited about the Shucked Oyster. So I can't wait to talk about this. Guys, I promise I'm going to cover this on Thursday, and I will have you back on the show. So we do have an edited stream that'll go live sometime later this week, is my hope. But I did get to go to Gen Con, and I figured why not share some of the cool things that I got to do and the cool people I got to see and hang out with. I got to see Simon and Daryl and Chris Valentine, all from Pinnacle. It was wonderful to see those guys. I got to hang out with the world's largest dungeon crew, Tim Brown and Frank. Did a little panel on the world's largest dungeon. Hung out a lot with the Palladium guys. A lot with the Palladium guys. I really enjoyed Kevin and Sean. Picked up a couple of books that I was missing from the Rifts line. Rift Dark Conversions, the Bionic Source book, and Triax 2, which I've never read before. And that was awesome. Padre, congratulations. I saw the poetry you posted on the channel. Did I miss that you're starting a new job? If so, congratulations. And I hope to hear what it is soon. The other people that I got to hang out with that I always love hanging out with are the guys from Castles and Crusades and Troll Lord Games. Hey, Teak, welcome back. Um, to the point that I will be doing reviews of these later this month. This is the Adventurer's Armory and the Monstrous Armory for Castles and Crusades, but you can really use it for any old school, or even I would say through 3.0, 3.5. Adventurer's Armory is just a ton of new weapons. It's a beefy book. What I love is the Monstrous Armory, which goes across some of the major monsters of the D20 world and gives them specific gear that you can then say, well, I'm fighting a cloud giant. Why would I not give them, instead of whatever they come with, why would I not give them an aerie of eagles, a large magical container for transporting and protecting up to 6 eagles during battle, that you can then drop and have eagles come flying out of. The other thing that I got, and they were gracious enough to give this to me, I will also be reviewing the Castles and Crusades starter set. It's $30, and if you like starter sets as a way to get into a game, spoiler alert, this one's pretty awesome. I like all of the content. I don't know if I got just a bad print copy or if they've got to do some fine tuning on some of the black and white art. Came out a little dark for my tastes, but I'll go through all of that in depth later this month. Yes, I get to see John Doom and DM James and Tink and Val and a bunch of other people at Gamehole Con. Matthias, the Realm Builder, will be there, who has done several shows with me, which I will announce right now. Matthias and I are putting together a show for the stream that I wanted to call Dominus Trollarum Volt. And I was told by my art director and social media person that the YouTube algorithm does not recognize Latin. And so we're going to call it The Lord of Trolls Wills It, or The Troll Lord Wills It, one of those two things. And but I will be ending all of the streams with Alstrag Delinda Est, saying that Alstrag must be destroyed. John, I would love to meet Kelsey. I know Mike Shea, Ed Greenwood, those are going to be awesome. I know Monty Cook Game shows up. I love hanging out with the Chaosium guys there. Tink is right. If you can pick only one con to go to every year, Gamehole Con is the con to go to. Madison in October, beautiful. The weather is nice. The trees are turning colors. There's a giant lake right next to the convention center. It's only about 5,000 to 6,000 people, which is perfect sized. And there's a ton of great food around. Yeah. You may be able to tell from my t-shirt that I got to play some Conquest. I learned that I've been playing Conquest wrong since day one and making each game 4 times longer than it needed to be. So that was fun. And the Conquest guys were a ton of fun to hang out with. We got to see how their campaign system worked. We got to play a bunch of games. I might have picked up an expansion for my city-states that comes with more hoplites, more Thorotaki, clockwork hoplites, and some giant inquisitors, which I'm not entirely sure what they are, but I'm looking forward to that. Apparently, Mike Barbeau over at Pinnacle is also a Conquest player, and I would love to get him into the studio sometime and record us playing a game against each other. The hearsay is he was like qualified to make it to the Worlds tournament for Conquest, and the dates changed and he wasn't able to make it to Greece to play Conquest on a beach next to the sea, which is awful, and I feel bad, Mike. You were robbed. That sounds like the best place in the world to play miniature games. So yeah, I got a bunch of city-states. I know that Tink picked up more Wadroon. So yes, even more orcs with dinosaurs now being fielded against my city-states. This was Norse Foundry, a little something we found this is the official Gen Con set. It's very yellow. I mean, very yellow. But it is kind of cool. They glow in the dark and they're UV reactive. So I'm going to give these guys a shot, see if they'll kill some players when I get back to gaming next week. God, I miss gaming. Aside from my kids' Deadlands game, it has been a dry spell. I went from running four games a week to running one game every other week, and that's not enough games. It's not enough games for JM. Not enough games. I saw that image and I didn't know what they were talking about. Did Ulysses Spiel put that out, or did Chaosium put out the image of the Pendragon cover, but with instead of a knight, it was a duck in armor? A couple of other little city-state support stuff that I was able to pick up, and the other thing is two of the my good friends in gaming, Pink and John Doom, have been shouting at me to pick up this game, and for the longest time I was like, I'm really not interested. I've got Axe, I've got Hyperborea, I've got Castles and Crusades. Why do I need another OSR-ish game? But then I read the Shucked Oyster, and the Shucked Oyster kind of intrigued me enough that I finally broke down and I got a copy of the Shadow Dark book. And beyond the Shadow Dark book, I also managed to snag the 3 Cursed Scrolls. And then might have backed her West Marches campaign as well. And possibly maybe contemplating a Shadow Dark Jackals mashup. I was told Jackal Dark would not trend well. So I'm thinking maybe Shadows Under the War Road or Shadows on the War Road, something like that. But it is a remarkably well laid out and explained game, and it cleaves very interestingly to the 5e rule set while still giving you an OSR flavor. John Doom has been trying to get me to play this thing for a very, very long time. And the one time he was running it on our Friday night game, I was not available. I think I was at a convention or had a seizure, one of the two. But heard good things from the majority of the people who played. I think a couple of the players in our group were a little... They went into the game kind of anti-Shadow Dark. So read through all of it. Actually very impressed. Also got to read through Draw Steel by MCDM Games. That book is laid out like a book to be used at the table. The art and the layout, I won't say are sparse, because every piece of art is purposefully chosen, and the layout definitely feels like it was purposely designed to be easy to use at the table, and it feels like a well-designed homage to 4th edition with a little 13th age thrown in there. So if you like really complex tactical combats where positioning is everything and position can be like, you know, if you miss push, pull, slide, and auras from 4th edition, this might be the game for you. I do have to say, after reading through it, I am intrigued by the idea that you cannot miss in combat. That every time you throw the dice, you are going to do something. It just may not be as effective as if you had rolled higher. I like the idea that they basically boiled all of combat, all of people's turns, down to throw 2d10, add them together, and, you know, see what your action did. Like, you pick your action like you did in 4th edition. You have a bunch of different maneuvers and move actions and attack actions. But the bands are always the same. If you roll 11 or less, that's a tier 1, and if you roll a 17 or above, you roll to tier 3, and then anything between that, 12 to 16. Like, I haven't even played the game, and that resolution system sticks in my head for its ease and simplicity. So, I do think it fasted is not, John. And even like watching their, people who have played this game and understood this, I think so. One of the interesting things about 4th edition, I ran 2 4th edition campaigns, one to level 20, one to level 30. So I ran a lot of 4th edition. You do end up missing things because there's all these status effects and moves that that it's hard for your brain to hold on to. I then ran a 4th edition game just at the heroic tier on Roll20. And because so much of it was automated, the game ran smoothly. And for people who don't know, 4th edition was designed and came out with the goal of having the world's first virtual tabletop packaged with it. And I think a lot of the design choices were influenced by that promise that was never materialized. I know that MCDM is working on their own proprietary play, draw, steal on our platform thing. I would not be surprised if once you learn the system, which system, coming up to speed on a system usually takes 3 to 4 sessions in general, and learning a new virtual tabletop interface takes about the same time. So my guess is by session 6 or 7, that game's going to move way faster with a virtual tabletop. Like, even more so than, like John and Tink and I play a ton of Savage Worlds on Foundry. It automates a lot of the things. It makes the game move faster. I really think that this game is going to shine on a virtual tabletop. Right. It took an hour and a half to kill 7 kobolds, as played with the people who designed the game, who know it better than anyone else in the world. Also got to hang out with DM James and take a look at the new Dark Fantasy set that's coming out for Arkenforge, and I gotta tell you, I'm super excited about that Kickstarter going live, I think later this month. When it goes live, we'll make sure that we put links in the show notes and talk about it on the stream. But that's it. That is my return to form. I wanted something to kind of ease in and talk about everything that happened. I will be back on Thursday with Cults of Zahak. I will let you know right now, while this is designed for Mithras, BRP, that, your kind of classic D100 game, this book is a book of evil. It is a book designed to bring cults that want to do evil things unapologetically, and there are no misunderstood bad guys in the Cults of Zahak. They make that very clear. If you worship Zahak, you have turned your back on everything it means to be human. Now, they do this without glorifying evil. They make several points saying, hey, this is designed to be an evil to fight, not to be played. Gotta say, the guys over at Black Lodge Games get symbolism, and they get the core of heroic gaming in a way that I think very few game designers do today. And so I'm really excited to share our interview that we had. I'm excited to have them back on the show more. I'm really excited to talk about Cults of Zahak. Again, if you guys watch this, I do apologize that it's taken me so long to get through all of this. Life happens. So, let's see, anything else in the chat? I do like Shadows Under the War Road too, Padre, or Shadows on the War Road. Shackles is interesting, Tink. Like that. That's one of those names that if I start calling it just as a placeholder, it will end up being Torg or Riffs or Curves. We missed you, but our aim is improving. Well done. Have a Benny, Padre. Yes. And speaking of Cthulhu versus superheroes, in case you do not know, the Doomguard Kickstarter is going on right now. Let me put that in there. For the board game, Pinnacle's board game of superheroes versus Cthulhu, and it does come with a RPG supplement, the fourth of the Necessary Evil books, called Doomguard, with a campaign of you fighting Cthulhu, written by yours truly. I'm actually going on Savage Goose later today. I don't know if it's live or not. If it's live, we'll share the link. If it's not, we'll share it when it goes live to talk about the campaign. So, that board game has funded. It's at almost 77,000 with 10 days left to go, and you can get 3 different versions of the game. Superheroes vs. Cthulhu. Then there's an expansion for Legion of Hell. I wonder if somebody wrote that campaign for Doomguard as well. And then Alien Invasion, which, of course, is based off the one that Clint did back in the day. Also got to see Clint and Jody. Always a good time to see them. So, everyone, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. I will see you all on Thursday. Until then, stay safe, stay gaming, stay healthy. I am JM. This has been Behind the Screen. I will see you all later. Till then, have a good one, everybody.